The king sings. Welcome to our show, said stage magician Blake Alexander. Are you ready to be entertained? You aren't. You need to prune your face, shouted a voice in the audience. Ha! Ha! It's called a beard, boy. You can grow one too if you like, said the unamused Blake. Lance, stop playing with your dad. You're a big boy, he can play with you later, roared the other man on stage. Lance laughed, unamused, and said, Yeah right, Gramps. Can we do our job? Asked Blake. Ignore him, he's just a shark, Blake, said Fred Alexander to the man he was working with, his supposed grandson in this his new magic act. Blake was Fred's grandson, but by an odd quirk of fate and time, he was also Fred's younger self. How? You ask. They were near immortal, ageless time travelers. Well, one at different points of life. The show eventually finished, and the magician sat at the bar with the heckler and a lady. The time traveler's wife, Angela or Anna. Fred sat drinking a glass of wine, his third. He was slightly drunk, just the smell of alcohol made him tipsy, so 3 glasses of wine made him less than in control. So the usually restrained, slightly grumpy Fred lost his inhibitions and was convinced to wander onto the karaoke stage in the bar, as Lance's son set a song for him to sing. Then the drunk man sang along with the karaoke machine as it played Call Me When You're Sober. The son laughed his head off at the sight of his father blind drunk singing a song of sobriety. Blake and the wife didn't dare stop him from singing. He was a dangerous drunk and they knew it. Who is that guy? Asked another performer from the night, who'd seen him perform as a magician earlier, but not recognized Fred, walking up to Lance. He's the king, said Lance as Fred sang, oblivious to the conversation. The king? Of what? Singers? Asked the man. Lance laughed again. What's funny, boy? Asked Blake, the younger time traveler. He thinks he's the king of singers? Laughed Lance. Why? What have you been telling him, my boy? Said Blake. He's not the king of singers, that is ridiculous. He's the king of the earth. King of the earth, the man said. I like the sound of king of singers better. It is more believable. There is no such thing as king of the earth. Would you believe he's the emperor of the universe? Asked Lance, chuckling. Blake glared at Lance. He's what? Said the man, looking at Fred, who sang his heart out. The man's eyes widened. I must meet him when he's finished singing, the man said. He's picky who he talks to, said Blake. Fred finished singing and there was a loud applause and cheer. Fred bowed. Then walked up to Blake and Lance. How was I? Fred asked. Call me when you're sober, said Lance seriously. You were perfect, for a man singing it, said Blake, unsurprised. Nervously he knew he was a good singer without Fred showing it. You jealous, mate? Asked the drunk Fred. Why should I be jealous of you, Fred? Said Blake, seriously. He was him. You were great, Fred, said the man. Thank you. Who are you? Do you want an autograph? Asked Fred. Lance watched as Fred gave the man his autograph. The man wondered who he was impressed. Sorry, he's a drunk stage magician, said Blake. Oh? The man said sadly, shame, I thought he was a singer. No, he's Alexander, the great. He's a master stage illusionist, said Blake, ashamed and embarrassed. Oh, is he the magician from before? Asked the man, amazed. Yes, said Blake, grimacing, watching the noticeable drunk man who wandered off and was trying to hug their wife, but she didn't want to be near him drunk and in public. Excuse me, I have to go save my wife, said Blake, and he walked off to save the honor of himself and Anna. He's like a rock star, that guy, said the man said to Lance. Lance chuckled. Not usually? He's rather boring usually, he's a pen pusher and diplomat, said Lance. If he can sing like that drunk, I want to see him sing sober, said the fan. He's good sober too, but he's obsessed with Coldplay, said Lance. Who are you? Kane Jameson, said the fan, waiting for the penny to drop. The headliner of this show opening? Said Lance skeptically. The same. If he's any good, I'd like to have him sing at my Melbourne concert as a surprise guest, said Jameson, who is a big singing star. I will get him to perform even if I have to enchant him, said the enchanter Lance seriously. Kane thought Lance was drunk too, but he was not. Days later, a shamefaced Emperor Fred visited Kane's hotel to audition for him with Lance. Hello Fred, Lance, said Jameson. Hello Mr. Jameson. Sorry about before. I feel like a big fool for the way I was behaving, said Fred. It's all right, said Jameson smiling. Do you have a song to sing? Yes, said Fred, I bought a song I wrote. Jameson looked at the music notes. It had song lyrics on it too. Wow, it's really good, said Jameson. Sitting at a piano, he started to play and Fred started to sing. He had the voice of an angel. Lance was trying hard not to be impressed. How was it? Asked Fred when he'd finished singing. You killed it, said Lance. You were unearthly, said Jameson. Fred smiled amused. He was actually an alien. Can you be a guest performer? Jameson asked. I work nights, but I'll have a night off to be in your show. It will be a surprise for people to see me singing, said Fred. Yes, said Jameson, smiling, as long as you sing your song, it's great. I hope you enjoy our guest performance. I found him a few days ago. He's great, actually called Alexander, the Great. You'll love him as much as I do, I am sure, said Jameson, who walked off stage. A man in a tux and a top hat walked on stage playing with a red bicycle brand deck of cards. The penny dropped. He was a famous, popular stage magician. The crowd loved him. There was a loud applause and cheer. They thought they were in for a magic trick, but they were wrong. Fred put his hat on a table with a black tablecloth, dropped the cards in the hat and smiled. And spoke into a nearby microphone passionately. I love you more than life, and death won't end it. My love for you, Fred said to the perplexed audience. They began to sing with a tenor voice so beautiful and passion-filled, that the audience was hooked and in love with him. They cheered louder. He sang louder and stronger. You gotta take me as I am. I can't give you more than this. I am just a poor man, nothing more can I give you. All I have to give you is my love and my name. I am not wealthy, but in love I am rich. If I have your love, I am the richest man in the world. With your love, I can soar above the world. With the hope you give me, with your love and faith, I can do anything. I could do anything you ask of me. If you call me, I would fly to your side. You make me feel like I'm a Superman. Your love makes me feel I can do anything. The world and death can't stop my love for you. You are an angel living in my heart. I pray to you, that we will never part. He said with the voice of a man in love, looking at his wife in the audience, talking to her in the microphone softly. I love you. He'd actually been singing and talking to her all along. The audience roared and applauded. They had fallen in love with Fred, the king of the earth, and his voice. He gained a slew of new fans. He looked over the cheering crowds and opened his arms to them, smiled and bowed.
I love you more than life, and death won't end it. My love for you, I love you more.
You gotta take me as I am. I can't give you more than this. I'm just a poor man, nothing more can I give you. is my love and my name. I am not wealthy, but in love I am rich. If I have your love, I am the richest man in the world with your love. I can soar above the world with the hope you give me, with your love and faith. I can do anything, I could do anything you ask of me. If you call me, I would fly to your side. You make me feel like I'm a Superman. Your love makes me